Conditional rendering in Vue comes in two flavors, VIF and VShow. We're going to be looking at the VIFs first because I think that looks most like if statements. We're going to be first getting rid of a bunch of this code, a bunch of this stuff here. So now VIFs achieved with directives that we just covered. First, let me come here and write a really simple p tag. My my favorite element. Now this element is available as my favorite element here. It is showing, but the way we stop this from showing using VIFs is really simple. We come here and add a directive VIF, and this takes an argument that equals to true or no, a boolean, true or false, a boolean, whatever you want, but it basically takes a true or false value. So VIF true, show this. It shows. VIF false, show this. It doesn't. It doesn't show the element. Now we can have chaining. We can chain VIFs. So VIF true, show this. VIF else, like if, like in if statements, when you have if else statements. So if, do this, else if, do this, else if, do this, and else statements. And else ifs, do this, else if, do this, and else, do this. We basically have this as the directives here. So if true, show this. Not on it. So v else if true, show this as well. Let me just get rid of this. V else if true, show this. So true, it show my favorite element. It's true. But let me come here and const my variable equal 1. So VIF my variable equal 1. I want you to show, and it's showing. VS if my variable equals 2. So let's just go ahead and set this to 2. It shows on it. And the last element, the last attribute, which is the V else. So V else. So if none of this is true, we want to show this. This doesn't take an argument. It doesn't take an argument. Only V else if and V else takes arguments. So if on it is false, if variable is false, it shows this last element. So if we come here and make our variable we make it 4, we can see it shows the last. And that is one way of the conditional rendering in Vue. This can be put in a div if you want, but I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Now the other one we want to look at is show. So VShow. The other directive is VShow. So let me just put this in a div. Heading paragraph text as lorem ipsum. We save this, it is clearly showing. But with vshow, what we can do is just set the directive to vshow. So we need a true or false value. So we need a true or false value. Let's just set it to true to see what happens. It is showing. If we set it to false, it is no longer showing. Now these two are very important for showing, for conditionally rendering stuff, but there is one major difference in the two. Let's come here to our elements and let's just inspect this. For this last element that's showing for our VF, we can see for this VF, the only element available in the HTML here is this last one, the VLs. This is the only element shown. Let me just put this back to 2 to make it, no, let me put this to 1 to make it a little bit more explanatory. So if I come here, you can see the only element here is this peak tag, which is for the favorite element, which is the first one that matches our VF, the first true statement, the first true element here is this one, and is the only one available in our HTML. But here we also have another div tag, which is the paragraph, this vshow, which is set to false. And as you can see, we still have the element in our HTML. But this shouldn't be, you would think. But it is like this because vshow essentially just sets the display to none. That's all it does. It doesn't remove it from the rendered HTML. While for this, it basically removes it from the HTML. So if you want to show an element, if you want to conditionally render an element, but still want to keep it in the HTML, you would typically use show. But if you don't want to have it rendered in the HTML, you would use VIF. So I think that makes sense. That's conditional rendering in Vue.